We have this math olympiad question to solve. X plus y equals 6 and xy equals 12. Let us see how we can solve this question. So we can name this equation as equation 1 and we can name this one as equation 2. From equation 1, we can make y the subject. We have y is equal to 6 minus x. That is subtracting 6 from both sides of the equation, subtracting x from both sides of the equation. So we can call this our third equation. We can plug in the third equation into the second equation here. So when we put the third equation into the second equation, this gives us xy. So we have x. Y is now 6 minus x is equal to 12. We can expand using the distributive property. 6 times x will give us 6x. Then x times negative x will give us negative x squared is equal to 12. So we can rewrite this equation as negative x squared plus 6x. Then we also move the 12 to the left hand side. So we have minus 12 is equal to 0. When we multiply through by negative 1, we obtain x squared minus 6x plus 12 is equal to 0. Notice that this is a quadratic equation and we have the coefficient a, which is the coefficient of the quadratic term, b1, coefficient of the linear term, negative 6. Then we have the constant to be 12. So recall that this is given by negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So we plug in the values. We have negative of negative b plus or minus square root of b squared, negative 6 squared, minus 4 times 1 times 12 divided by 2 times 1. So x will be equal to negative of negative 6 will be positive 6 plus or minus square root of, we have 6 squared is 36 minus 4 times 12, that will give us 48 divided by 2. So this gives us 6 plus or minus square root of 12. That is negative 12 because 36 minus 48 will be negative 12 divided by 2. So we have x equal 6 plus or minus square root of, we have 4 times 3 times negative 1. That will give us negative 12. So we can express this as that and divided by 2. So we have x equals 6 plus or minus square root of 4 times square root of 3 times square root of negative 1 divided by 2. So x will be equal to 6 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2 root 3. Recall that this is a complex number that gives us I. So square root of negative 1 is I divided by 2. So this simplifies to 6 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 3 I divided by 2. And that gives us 3 plus or minus root 3I. And this implies that we have x to be equal to 3 plus root 3I, or x equal 3 minus root 3I. Recall that the value of y is given by 6 minus x. So when x is equal to 3 plus root 3I, y will be equal to 6 minus 3 plus root 3I. And when x equal 3 minus root 3I, y will be equal to 6 minus 3 minus root 3I. So this gives us 6 minus 3 minus root 3I. Then we have 6 minus 3 plus root 3I. So this simplifies to 3 minus root 3I. And this also gives us 3 plus root 3I. So when x equal 3 plus root 3I, y equal 3 minus root 3I. And when x equal 3 plus 3 minus root 3I, y is equal to 3 plus root 3I. Now let's check and see if we add, we will get 6. And when we multiply, are we going to get 12? Let's check and see. So let's add. So x plus y equals 6. So will 3 minus root 3I plus 3 plus root 3I be equal to 6. So we have 3 plus 3, that will give us 6. Negative root 3I plus root 3I will give us 0. And that is giving us 6. So actually 6 is equal to 6. Now let's check the multiplication. Xy is equal to 12. So we have 3 plus root 3I times 3 minus root 3I. Is that giving us 12? So 3 times 3 will give us 9. And 3 times 3 times root 3I will give us negative 3 root 3I. Then we have positive 3 root 3I. Then root 3I times negative root 3I. So that gives us root 3I squared is equal to 12. Is that equal to 12? We keep checking. So this and this gives us 0. We are left with 9 minus root 3 squared is 3. Then we have negative, then we have I squared. I squared. So remember that I is equal to square root of negative 1. So that will be equal to, let's see what that will give us 12. So we have 9 minus 3 times root negative 1 squared. So this will get rid of this. Would that give us 12? So we have 9 minus negative 3, and that will give us 9 plus 3, which is giving us 12. So that is true. We have 12 is equal to 12. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.